What happened next is transformative. Matt stood in the dimly lit school hallway, the air thick with the echoes of children's laughter and the looming shadows of forgotten dreams. He gripped the mop handle tightly, the worn wood digging into his palms as he caught snippets of muted conversations behind the classroom doors. "Just a janitor," they whispered, their words like daggers piercing through the veneer of his tired facade. At 38, he was painfully aware of the limitations that life had forced upon him. The smothering weight of bills, the relentless grind of a poorly paying job, and the flickering hope that somehow he was enough for his shy daughter, Lucy. His heart ached with uncertainty. How could he teach her to dream when every act of cleaning the filthy tiled floors, day in and day out, screamed of inability? How could he instill in her the value of perseverance when his own dreams, once a brilliant star in his youth, had dimmed into a distant memory? With a heavy sigh, he moved towards the auditorium, hoping for a brief respite from the hustle of the school. In the back of the auditorium, under the layers of dust and forgotten dreams, something caught his eye. A glimmer of white paper peeking from beneath a seat drew him closer. As he pulled it out, his breath hitched. It was Lucy's secret project, her presentation about dreams, resilience, and the beauty of believing in oneself. Each word resonated like a beacon, igniting nostalgia and regret. Once, he had yearned to be a scientist, to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Where had that boy gone? That night, after tucking Lucy into their worn-out couch, he glanced at her gentle face, a soft blush of dreams painted against the backdrop of their modest apartment. Hope ignited within him, fierce and bright. He felt an urge rising to try harder, to do more. In the following weeks, they sat up late, books strewn around them, diagrams sprawling under the dim kitchen light. The crisp smell of old pages intermingled with the candor of laughter and learning, snapping him back into a world he had long forgotten. But just as their bond blossomed, the anxiety loomed larger. The impending budget cuts threatened to erase the very program that catered to Lucy's burgeoning passion. The hope that had leaped inside him crashed down around his ears like shattering glass. Panic clawed at his insides. He clenched his fists, overwhelmed by a wave of dread. Could he protect her dreams with only a janitor's salary? The thought felt suffocating, a weight he could hardly bear. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Matt felt the walls closing in as he resolved to fight. How could he rally a community wrapped in despair? Every face, every conversation, laced with skepticism, pushed against him, dismissing the hopes of a brighter future. Self-doubt filled the gaps where determination should have thrived. If he stood alone, could he truly make them see? As the weight of impending failure pressed hard on his chest, the unexpected happened. A renowned scientist visited the school and stumbled upon Lucy's project, captivated by her passion. Hope twisted inside Matt, igniting raw emotions he thought buried. But could he rise, scarred and beaten by life, to reclaim his own dreams through the brilliance of his daughter? As he stood at this painful crossroads, the question hung in the air like a heavy fog, clouding the path ahead. Matt felt a surge of adrenaline race through him as he considered the implications of the scientist's visit. Here was a chance to not only bolster Lucy's aspirations, but also to reignite a flicker of ambition within himself. He could no longer allow self-doubt to paralyze him. If there was even a remote chance to change their circumstances, he had to act. He spent the next few days in feverish preparation. He dug through boxes in the basement, searching for his old notes, papers filled with formulas and diagrams from his university days. Each page he unearthed felt like a fragment of his former self. As he studied those notes, he was flooded with memories, late nights spent dissecting scientific theories, debates with professors, and a burning desire to contribute to the world. Could it be? Could these dreams still breathe life into him? That evening, as he and Lucy sat together at the kitchen table, he shared his plan. "What if we reach out to that scientist?" he asked, excitement bubbling in his voice. "Maybe he could help with your project. Maybe he could help us." Lucy's eyes widened, the faintest hint of uncertainty crossing her face. "But Dad, what if he laughs at us? What if he doesn't care?" The fear that lingered in her voice echoed deep within him. Yet he recognized that apprehension as a mirror of his own doubts. "We won't know until we try," he replied, keeping his tone steady even as doubt gnawed at his insides. "It's not just about you, Lucy. It's about both of us, believing we can reach for more." In the coming days, they crafted an email together, artfully blending Lucy's passion with his fervor for science. They dared to be bold, emphasizing the importance of nurturing curiosity in young minds. As he clicked send, a wave of vulnerability washed over him. What if no one responded? What if this single act of hope brought down the weight of rejection harsher than he had ever felt before? But then, much to his surprise, a reply came just 3 days later, inviting them to meet the scientist at the local community center. Funneled through exhilaration, nervous dread engulfed him. This could be the turning point he had longed for. Yet, what if he wasn't worthy of this opportunity? What if he faltered in front of someone so accomplished? On the day of the meeting, he stood in front of the mirror, systems racing through his mind. "You're a father, first. You're not just a janitor. What would Lucy think?" Her faith in him steadied his resolve, and he donned the best clothes he owned, an old button-down shirt that had seen better days, and creased khakis. He might have been a janitor, but today he would wear the brighter side of ambition. As they walked into the community center, he saw the scientist standing there, an aura of determination illuminating the room. It struck him. This was not just about pitching a project. It was an opportunity to showcase the dreams they both cherished. Each step forward was laden with new possibilities. They ventured into the room where they introduced themselves. As he spoke, the words flowed both from his heart and his newfound purpose. He spoke about Lucy, about her project's vision. With each moment that passed, he felt himself casting aside layers of years filled with fear and resignation. And then the scientist smiled, leaning closer to hear Lucy's presentation. "Your father seems incredibly proud of you," he remarked, and Matt's chest swelled, the deep crevice of doubt within him starting to fill. Could he truly allow himself to believe in possibilities? Would this tangible rapport shape the future not just for Lucy, but for him as well? The tension coiled tightly in the air, crackling with anticipation and a hint of anxiety as he awaited the scientist's next words. But suddenly, a bolt of uncertainty struck him once more. What if this was all a setup for a bigger fall? Would they both taste success, or would they face another crushing disappointment? As the scientist began to speak, offering advice and encouragement, Matt clung to the moment, ready to grasp any shred of hope, uncertain if this was the dream he had secretly craved or another cruel reminder of what he stood to lose. Matt absorbed the scientist's feedback like a sponge, each word sparking fire within him. The ideas exchanged between Lucy and the scientist were electric, igniting passion not just for the project, but for the unspoken potential tethered to his own life. Although the walls of self-doubt still loomed, there was a burgeoning sense that he might maneuver through them, navigating towards something greater. As they absorbed the brilliant suggestions, Matt noticed Lucy's enthusiasm bubbling over. Her ideas flowed seamlessly, and for the first time, he saw her stepping into the role of a creator. He marveled at the transformation unfolding right before him. And for a fleeting moment, he allowed himself to imagine a future unclouded by fear, a future ripe with potential. The conversation unfolded around the importance of real-world applications for science. The scientist emphasized pushing boundaries, the need for creativity and problem-solving. With every phrase, Matt reflected on his own years spent in a world of structure and maintenance, wondering if he too could break free from the confines of his current existence. He pondered what it would take to re-enter the realm of innovation he once loved. In the depths of his mind, doubt clawed at him once again. Did he still have it in him to pursue something beyond being a janitor? The question gnawed incessantly. Yet, amidst this whirlwind of uncertainty, he also felt a flicker of conviction, the sense that he was more than just his job. He had a daughter, an ambitious one, and she depended on him to nurture her spirit, to help her grow unencumbered by the limitations he imposed on himself. After the meeting drew to a close, as they left the venue, Matt listened intently as Lucy recounted all the inspiring ideas the scientist had shared. Her face was alight with enthusiasm, and every word she spoke felt like a reaffirmation of the dreams he thought he had buried long ago. Her dreams gave him life, and they seemed to weave a fragile thread between their aspirations. "We should really thank him," Lucy suggested eagerly. "Maybe he can be our mentor." Matt hesitated for just a moment, but then a wave of determination washed over him. "Let's do it, Lucy. Let's write him a thank you note, and maybe suggest meeting again. I think we have something special here." The prospect electrified him, the idea of taking initiative crystallizing into a plan. He envisioned them collaborating, father and daughter, each pushing each other toward unexplored depths of possibility. As they sat down to draft the note, Matt found himself grappling with the revelation that this moment marked a turning point. The days of shrinkage and withdrawal were behind him, replaced with a dawning sense of responsibility, not just as a father, but as someone yearning for more from life. The notes and diagrams in the basement felt less like relics and more like an invitation to reignite his past passions. That night, with his heart full, Matt allowed himself to dream again, to envision a study filled with the materials of a new pursuit, where he could mentor Lucy as the scientist had done for them. It all seemed within reach, and for the first time in years, he stirred with ambition. Until then, the specter of doubt had often been a remnant of his former life, but as he began to draft plans and ideas, he felt those whispers diminishing. Confidence soared as he committed to not only support his daughter's ambitions, but to rekindle his own. Through that renewed flame, he senses a new beginning ahead. But just as hope began to blossom, an unsettling thought brushed against his conscience. What if he failed again? What if fear gripped him in the crucial moments ahead? The tension rekindled, threatening to suffocate the optimism swelling within. What if the journey was fraught with challenges he wasn't prepared to face? Matt clenched his fists as he mulled over the implications. The stakes had been raised, and this wrapping of ambition came with insecurities he hadn't quelled. He paused over the notepad, erasing and rewriting sentences, his mind racing. Would he truly rise to the occasion? The moment of truth hung in the air, taunting him, demanding that he confront the depths of his conviction. There was tension, yes, but also the thrill of new beginnings. The stakes were high, but so were the rewards. With a shuddering breath, he set down his pen, unwilling to let trepidation cloud the journey he had committed to embark on. As Lucy's excitement seeped into his soul, he surveyed the path ahead, ready for whatever faced him. This was not just about Lucy's future, it was about his too. And on this precipice, he realized he stood at the edge of a transformative adventure. But lurking just beyond his newfound resolve was a question, bold and menacing. Would he rise to meet the challenges of this uncharted journey, or retreat into the shadows of doubt once more? The next day, an unexpected urgency propelled Matt from his bed. The sunlight filtered through the curtains, illuminating the dreams that had danced through his mind the night before. Instead of the bitterness of inertia, there was a spark of determination. Today was different. Today, he would challenge the fabric of his everyday life. After a quick breakfast, he barely touched his coffee before he felt a compulsion to dig deeper into the notes he'd left in the basement. Had he truly buried all semblance of ambition beneath the weight of menial toil? The thought struck him hard, and he resolved to uncover the layers of creativity hidden within. He rummaged through the scattered papers, his hands trembling with the thrill of rediscovery. Drawings of mechanical objects, sketches of innovative designs, unfinished thoughts that once teemed with possibility. These remnants seemed to whisper his name, as if calling him back to a world he desperately longed to inhabit. He felt alive as ideas began swirling once again. The morning felt electric, laced with the sense that he was about to enter a phase where every moment mattered. Yet flashes of doubt bubbled beneath the surface. Was this truly a new beginning or merely a fleeting distraction? He could sense that the stakes were riser, with every ounce of hope battling against fear within him. Matt grabbed a notebook and started organizing his thoughts. He jotted down the ideas that had assembled in his mind, each word serving as a declaration against his insecurities. Questions raced through his head. What market could these creations target? What products could emerge from this spark of inspiration? He felt like a stranger in a familiar world, an inventor among mere custodians. But then came the thought that haunted him with chilling clarity. Would he have the courage to pursue any of these ideas? The looming intangibles of failure clouded his mind, making it difficult to breathe, let alone create. He took a deep breath, attempting to calm the tumult within. His daughter's unwavering enthusiasm echoed in his heart, reminding him why it was worth confronting those fears. There was no turning back now. Inspired by Lucy's exuberance, he began formulating a plan. The acknowledgement of their potential mentor lingered at the edges of his consciousness, like a lighthouse giving guidance through the fog. They needed to reach out again, to build on the connection formed in that passing meeting. Matt decided they could arrange a collaborative session. Her bright ideas and his foundational knowledge could lead them somewhere extraordinary. In the midst of planning, he paused, realizing that this venture would require more than just creative thought. It demanded courage and resilience. He would have to be prepared to face criticism and even failure again. What if the scientists deemed their ideas lacking? Or worse, what if the visions they harbored were simply naive dreams? He shook the thoughts away, focusing instead on the strength he had gleaned from the day before. This was not just for him, it was for Lucy too. Invigorated by their shared ambition, Matt leaned deeper into the mindset that had emerged from their brainstorming session. Innovation thrives on collective energy. With newfound resolve, Matt sent a draft of their thank you note to Lucy, framing their invitation for collaboration. He felt fear creeping back, shadows of doubt whispering their warnings. But as Lucy read his words, her face lit up, mirroring back the excitement he felt inside. "What if," she asked, her eyes sparkling with possibility, "we create something totally new together? This could be our chance to shine." The challenge loomed larger as Matt recognized the significance of what lay ahead. He was not just stepping back into a world of invention, he was stepping into partnership, both as a father and as a mentor. But was he really ready for that leap? As they submitted their proposal, Matt felt a tapestry of anticipation woven with threads of uncertainty. What if he faltered at the very moment he needed to stand firm? The dial of his emotional compass trembled between fear and hope. And in that moment, he realized he was standing on the brink of change. Now, the path ahead lay shrouded in potential and uncertainty, as the responses to their outreach could either cement his resolve or unravel the fragile fabric of his aspiration. But a singular, pulsating question resonated within him as he let go of the pen, uncertain of what lay on the horizon. What would be the price of his ambition if he dared to leap? Would he fly, or would he fall? The sun dipped in the sky, casting long shadows over the workspace. In Matt's basement, he fiddled with the sketches, now spread before him in a chaotic array as a cacophony of emotions churned within. The night had brought restless sleep, punctuated by dreams that fused his aspirations with the uncertainty that taunted him at every turn. What would Lucy think if their proposal to the scientist came back with disheartening feedback? The image of her hopeful face gripped his heart, turning apprehension into urgency. He needed to shake the self-doubt threatening to paralyze him. There was a quiet resolve growing within. This time, he couldn't afford himself the luxury of hesitance. He grabbed a marker and wrote across a fresh piece of paper, "Failure is not the end, it's a step forward." It became a rallying cry, a benediction against discouragement. Yet the phrase's potency also heightened the pressure he felt. Each line became a warning of consequences, not just for him, but for Lucy's expectations too. Deciding to take actions consistent with his intent, he pulled out a new notebook and began to draft a detailed plan for their collaboration. Questions sprang forth, each one a piece to their puzzle. They needed goals, timelines, and responsibilities. Who would handle what? The collaborative nature of their endeavor felt both thrilling and daunting. As he organized the ideas, a new realization hit him like a jolt. They could approach their project by leveraging what they had, their unique perspectives and individual skills to complement each other. He envisioned Lucy's optimism paired with his experience. Perhaps he wasn't as inadequate as those fears whispered. Perhaps he had something meaningful to contribute. With each decision made, the shadows of uncertainty began to recede, replaced by a flickering flame of determination. There was a mountain of work ahead, yet he felt uplifted. He would not only guide Lucy, but he would also learn alongside her, forging a path back into the world of invention, a world he had buried long ago. The idea fueled him. The looming deadline for their proposed meeting with the scientist loomed over them like a storm cloud. The weight of responsibility pressed heavier. An avalanche of questions crashed over him. What if the meeting didn't yield the desired results? Would he let Lucy down? Would his own fears eclipse the flicker of potential sparking between them? Determined not to backtrack into self-doubt, he summoned all his strength to confront these fears head-on. Failure could signal growth, an opportunity to discover new avenues of creativity. But the underlying truth remained. The pursuit of success was often littered with disappointments. Would he have the resilience to accept that as part of the journey? As the days slipped by, Matt continued refining their project, and the number of new ideas multiplied. Eventually, he began to feel a sense of belonging to the world he once retreated from. The journey back to innovation wasn't just about technical prowess. It required an engagement of emotions, relationships, and the toughness to persevere through adversity. The fear of failure transformed from immobilizing force to an uncomfortable companion on his journey. A palpable excitement built as he and Lucy prepared to present their collective proposal. He realized that this moment represented more than just a pitch. It was a testament to their bond and a declaration of his renewed spirit. As they practiced together, Lucy's infectious enthusiasm filled him with hope. She had become a catalyst for his transformation, and for that, he was grateful. Yet with the meeting looming, one thought continued to consume his mind. What if their ideas were met with dismissal? Would he stand firm, or would he shrink back into the shadows? The momentous challenge lay ahead, and with it, the lingering question remained. Could he embrace vulnerability to achieve greatness alongside his daughter? The clock ticked down toward their impending meeting, and as anticipation reached its peak, Matt felt the stirring of both excitement and dread. Would they emerge stronger, or would this chapter simply serve to reinforce his fears? The answer awaited him just around the corner. Matt stood in front of the small mirror hanging on the basement wall, adjusting the collar of his neatly pressed shirt. He'd chosen it deliberately, an outward signal that he meant business. Yet as he ran a hand through his hair, the doubt he had been attempting to shake surfaced anew, an unwelcome reminder of the stakes involved. Was dressing up enough to mask the apprehension brewing beneath? As the clock neared the scheduled meeting, he rehearsed their presentation in his head while pacing the cramped space. His mind flashed to Lucy, her wide, eager eyes mirroring his own ambitions, her belief in their project challenging the very limits he had imposed on himself. It was this bond, this connection, that tethered him to a goal greater than his fears. The first component of their proposal was straightforward, the research framework. He mentally cataloged every detail, reliving their brainstorming sessions, the moments of laughter, and the bursts of creativity ignited by their shared dreams. But what if it wasn't enough? This question taunted him, claws of uncertainty grazing his spirit. It was a test not only of their professional resolve, but also of his role as a father. He felt the familiar warmth of determination begin to spread through him. Just hours before, the specter of failure had loomed, casting shadows over his thoughts. Now, though still daunting, it transformed into a challenge to rise above his self-imposed limitations. Matt made a conscious choice. He would not falter when facing the unknown. Just as he was about to dive deeper into his thoughts, Lucy burst into the basement, all rambunctious energy and uninhibited excitement. "Dad, you know what's great about our proposal?" she exclaimed, her smile a beacon of hope. "It's not just about impressing the scientist, it's about us chasing our dreams together." Her words pierced his anxious cloud, igniting a realization. The project was indeed a vehicle for growth, not just in terms of professional advancement, but also in their relationship. He was sharing not just his knowledge of the field, but his vulnerabilities, his ambitions, and his fears. He recognized that the journey they shared was equally important as the destination they sought. As they stood side by side, a wave of clarity washed over him. They had constructed something meaningful together, a reflection of both their strengths. He leaned in and said, "You're right, Lucy. This is about us, and I couldn't have done it without you." With her eyes sparkling, Lucy set off to fetch their presentation materials. Matt took a moment to collect himself. He opened the notebook filled with their plans and read the words he had scrawled a few nights prior, that mantra against discouragement. Maybe this time it wouldn't just be a lifeline. Perhaps it was indeed a roadmap leading away from doubt. Matt and Lucy made their way to the office of the scientist, each step resonating with a mix of anticipation and fear. Moments later, they stood in front of the large wooden door, the final barrier between them and their dreams. A nervous energy fluttered in his stomach as he raised his hand and knocked, fully aware that this moment would define not just their project, but also his growth as a parent and innovator. The door creaked open, and Matt sensed the gravity of the impending conversation. The time had come to face the embodiment of his fears, he thought, heart racing. Would he be able to embrace vulnerability, even in the wake of possible rejection? The answer was close at hand, just waiting for him to reach out and grasp it. As the door swung wide, the scent of polished wood and faint hints of stale coffee wafted through the air, seeping into Matt's awareness. The office was a compact space, meticulously organized, featuring shelves lined with academia-styled books and research papers. Across the room, a figure rose from behind a desk, a middle-aged scientist with sharp features and an intensity in his gaze that suggested expectation. "Matt, Lucy," the scientist greeted, motioning them to take a seat. Matt felt a flicker of his earlier doubt igniting anew, but Lucy, buoyed by enthusiasm, practically leapt forward, exuding a confidence that blurred the edges of his own insecurities. "Thank you for meeting with us," Lucy chimed, her voice a musical contrast to the serious atmosphere. "We're really excited to share our project with you." Matt settled into the chair beside her, instinctively mirroring her enthusiasm. Though their preparation had been thorough, nothing could shield him from the weight of scrutiny. The scientist leaned back, folding his hands, eyes piercing through the mask of professionalism at the heart of his doubt. "Let's hear what you have," he said, each word weighted with deliberation. Lucy took a deep breath. Our project tackles climate change education for children. It's hands-on and engaging to help them understand its impact and inspire action. Matt watched as Lucy animatedly described their vision, her passion overflowing. Warmth swelled inside him. This was their shared dream embodied, and yet uncertainty still prowled in the recesses of his mind. As Lucy spoke, Matt felt his thoughts drift between pride in his daughter and self-doubt about their credibility. He worried if they would truly resonate with someone seasoned in the field. The scientist's thoughtful nods offered small reassurance, but each tick of the clock on the wall sent spikes of anxiety through him. After Lucy finished outlining their proposal, she turned to Matt, encouraging him silently to add his voice. He hesitated for a heartbeat, conscious of the weight of responsibility. "What we aim for," he began, "is not just to inform, but to empower the next generation." The words felt awkward at first, but as he continued, they began to spill out. "Being a single father has taught me that every moment with our children is a chance to instill values of resilience and proactive change." As he spoke, he noticed the scientist's focus shift, eyebrows lifted in interest. The once intimidating aura began to dissipate as Matt poured out his passion, as palpable as the anxiety that had surged through him just moments before. Lucy's glance of pride only spurred him on, and he began to explore facets of the project he hadn't before considered. What it could mean for kids to learn hope, not just facts about climate change. As the conversation deepened, questions morphed into a dialogue. The scientist challenged them on aspects of their proposal with an intensity that tested Matt's resolve, pushing him beyond surface-level understandings. Each inquiry was a test, forcing him to confront his own paradigms about education and personal limitations. But instead of tightening, he felt something shift within him. This was no longer just about the proposal. It became an exploration of passion, identity, and what it truly meant to advocate for change. The discussion flowed, each exchange sharpening his perception as if a fog were lifting. With every minute spent in that office, he embraced the fullness of his role, not just as a father, but as a collaborator and innovator. It clicked. He could blend expertise with ardor. Finally, the scientist leaned back, contemplation etched on his face. "I see potential here," he said slowly, "but it's going to take much more than enthusiasm to make a real difference." Matt felt the pulse of reality sink in. Their proposal might not be enough on its own. They needed to dissect every aspect, address vulnerabilities, and clearly define their path forward. His development hinged on it, not just professionally, but personally. "Thank you," he replied, resolve hardening within him. "We're ready to invest the effort needed." As they walked out of the office, Lucy's excitement reignited in the crisp air. "See, Dad, you did great!" But now, with acceptance mingling with anticipation, Matt knew that the real work lay ahead. They were not just building a project, but a foundation for their future. Yet, as he looked down at Lucy's beaming face, a shadow lingered at the back of his mind. A question of whether they could meet the expectations that now loomed larger than ever. The stakes had climbed, and with them, the urgency for transformation echoed back to him. Could he navigate this journey and fulfill not only their shared dream, but his own evolution as a father and innovator? The answer felt tantalizingly close, just beyond the horizon of doubt. The chill of early morning greeted Matt as he maneuvered through the crowded streets, the residual warmth from the meeting still lingering in his chest. The sunlight danced on the pavement, illuminating the alleyways leading to his familiar workspace. Each step felt heavier now, the weight of expectation merging with the exhilaration left by their presentation. As a janitor, Matt had spent years tending to spaces often overlooked, yet the urgency of personal transformation now loomed large. Today, the office he just left felt like a world away, filled with aspiration and potential. The stark contrast of his usual routine was jarring. There was a sense of duality within him. One part invigorated by vision and purpose, and another firmly anchored in the mundane. His shift began with sweeping the floors of the high school, a space alive with chatter and youthful vigor. The bright walls shimmered with student projects, a testament to their budding creativity. While he worked, he couldn't help but notice the children bustling past, unaware of how their actions could shape the future they were inheriting. Armed with the resolve to empower his daughter, Matt mulled over ideas. They needed to make their project resonate deeply with kids. He needed a plan that could breathe life into their initial proposal, transforming it from concept to impactful experience. Between sweeps, an unexpected opportunity appeared. A child named Mia was struggling to reach a book on a high shelf in the library. Without thinking, he offered assistance. "Need a hand?" he asked, smiling down at her with genuine warmth. "Kind of," she exclaimed, her voice brimming with determination. As he lifted her to grab the brightly colored cover, her excitement was contagious. "This book is about how to save the earth. I want to learn how to help the animals." In that moment, an idea sparked in Matt's mind. A connection soared between his earlier worries about adequacy and the vibrant energy of a child's eagerness to learn and contribute. "I think we can do something special with that idea," he murmured, half to himself and half to her. "What if you were the teacher? What if kids like you could lead projects that matter to them?" Mia's eyes lit up. "Like a club, where we learn and we can even show others what we make?" The simplicity of her suggestion landed heavily in his heart. Clubs, collaborative spaces where children could explore ideas, learn, and take action. It was a tangible step away from the abstract visions swirling in his mind since the meeting. He could facilitate, guide, and empower, the embodiment of what he wished to instill in Lucy. As he continued cleaning, he thought through the components: meetings, activities, experiential learning. They could invite experts, craft imaginative games, and foster creativity, building confidence in the kids along the way. With every hour, the idea took shape, illuminating his path toward not only bolstering the proposal, but igniting a movement among children. They would actively engage with their environment, learning about climate change through fun and interactive methods. He could transform his professional life into something collaborative, where his role now had a dual purpose, both as a finisher of tasks and as a facilitator of dreams for eager young minds. The bell rang, signaling the end of the school day, pulling him momentarily from his thoughts. As students poured from classrooms, laughter echoing off the school walls, Matt's heart raced with a rush of determination. This was the bridge he needed, one that could connect transportation of ideas from professionals to passionate children. That evening, with Lucy by his side, he laid out the vision. What if we create a youth club focused on climate education? Kids could lead their projects, their own voices heard, shaping their futures. Lucy's face lit up. "Yes, we can even make it fun, like science experiments that show them how climate change affects everything. This is gonna be amazing." Matt felt the resolve within him swell, blending excitement with a cautious realism. They could do this, but he needed to ensure they did it right. Yet, amidst the exhilaration, a creeping doubt returned. Was he prepared to confront the inevitable challenges others would pose, both external and internal? He knew well the world of academia could be stern, and their proposal would undergo scrutiny. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for what was next. This was about empowering Lucy and her peers, but it was also about his own journey. The leap was one of faith and integrity. In the quiet pause of that evening, while a wind rustled the trees outside, the flutter of trepidation in Matt's chest set his spark alight. Would he be able to summon the strength needed when they faced resistance? The moment of truth loomed, and he could already feel the pull of uncertainty regenerating its roots. Something profound was ahead, something challenging yet exhilarating. Would this journey become a testament to both his and Lucy's growth, or would he falter when it mattered most? The answer awaited him, suspended just out of reach, and he was determined to grasp it. The days blurred into a rhythm as Matt continued his routine. The school, once a backdrop to his daily tasks, had become a canvas for building dreams, a place where mentorship and creativity could flourish. He swept the floors and emptied the trash, but envisioned something much grander, a transformation that could ignite the kids' imagination. With every gesture, he felt the weight of his aspirations intertwining with the rhythm of normalcy. Ideas filled his mind, like leaves swirling in a fall breeze. But with the dawning of each new day came a recurring wave of apprehension. Would the staff at the school support him? He knew his position as a janitor could potentially undermine his authority. Yet, underlying that concern was a growing resolve, fueled by the infectious enthusiasm he'd glimpsed in Mia's eyes. One Thursday, he sought out the principal after school. To approach her felt like stepping onto the stage, facing a spotlight that illuminated his insecurities. He rehearsed his pitch as he brushed the floor. "I'm not just a janitor," he muttered to himself, shaking his head. "I have ideas. I can help these kids." The moment when he finally stood before her felt critical, a juncture between stagnation and possibility. "Can I share an idea with you?" he queried, heart pounding with each syllable. She raised an eyebrow, intrigued. The spontaneity of his request felt liberating. Perhaps he was forcing himself beyond the box he had lived in for so long. As he outlined his vision for the youth club, he felt barriers begin to crumble, even if only in his mind. This isn't just about the environment. It's about building leadership, about giving kids a voice. I believe they can direct their learning. Her expression shifted from initial skepticism to genuine curiosity. "Matt, this could be interesting," she replied cautiously. "But, there are policies, approvals. You're suggesting something quite unconventional here." Her words crystallized his fears. What if his idea was met with the bureaucratic indifference he had always anticipated? But instead of retreating into self-doubt, he met her gaze, fortifying his resolve. "I am willing to work with those policies. We'll plan, engage with parents, and even invite community experts. I'll make it a priority." Over the next couple of weeks, Matt returned home to strategize with Lucy. They pored over books on environmental science, plotted lessons, and brainstormed fun, engaging projects that the club could undertake. The more they collaborated, the more Matt became aware of skills he didn't know he possessed: facilitation, encouragement, and nurturing innovation in others. He was not just cleaning now, he was cultivating an atmosphere of possibility. Even while mapping out action steps, the specter of disbelief loomed near. At any moment, a phrase like, "That's not how things work," could dismiss his ambitions. But Matt clung to the exhilaration that conversations with Lucy and Mia ignited, moments of connection where ideas sparked laughter and joy. The prospect of creating a dialogue among the students enthused him, as did the thought of empowering them to embrace challenges. As he continued along this path of personal development, he also found himself reevaluating the perceptions he held toward his own position. Was being a janitor a limitation? Or was it instead a unique perspective he could leverage to reach the kids? Each time he recognized these thoughts, they became a click of defiance against societal views that threatened to bind him. Then, just as he began to feel anchored in his vision, he received news that sent tremors through his newfound confidence. A meeting with the PTA was scheduled to discuss his proposal. The informal presentation loomed like a specter, demanding answers to questions he had yet to finalize. He couldn't allow the fear of criticism to erode the work he was doing. This was more than a plan. It represented a shift in his identity. The urgency of the moment sparked a renewed determination. "I can't let this opportunity slip away," he whispered to himself as he sat at the dining table studiously drafting notes for the big day ahead. But beneath the layers of determination lurked doubt, the familiar whisper that echoed, "What if they reject you? What if you fail?" Would he once again find himself retreating to the confines of his previous reality? As his mind swirled with potential outcomes, he couldn't help but wonder, was he really ready for this leap? If he stumbled, what would that mean for Lucy, for the kids, and for his own journey toward becoming more than what the world had labeled him? The clock ticked ominously, the meeting approaching like a train gathering speed. Matt closed his eyes, envisioning himself standing confidently in front of the PTA, ready to share not just a proposal, but a vision rooted in hope and possibility. Would he find the courage to drive this transformation, or would self-doubt prevail? The moment of reckoning was upon him, and whatever happened could change the course of his life entirely. The night before the PTA meeting, Matt lay awake, deep in thought. The challenges he'd faced in his life seemed to loom larger than ever, clashing against the hope ignited by Lucy and Mia's dreams. However, underneath the weight of fear and doubt was a flicker of emboldened resolve. This was not just about the club. It was about redefining himself beyond the label of janitor and proving he could step into a role of authority and inspiration. The following morning arrived with the promise of new beginnings. He donned his best dress shirt again, making mental notes about the points he needed to articulate. At breakfast, Lucy's excited chatter about the club invigorated his spirit. Her confidence was contagious, and the strength of her belief in him filled him with determination. Today was not just a presentation, it was a pivotal moment in their journey, a chance to unveil their shared dream amid skepticism. As they arrived at the school, his heart raced, each step toward the meeting feeling monumental. Adrenaline coursed through his veins, propelling him forward. He joined the gathered parents, each of them skeptical and intrigued. The school gymnasium felt alive with murmurs, but beneath the surface, uncertainty buzzed like static electricity. When it was his turn to present, Matt felt the familiar rush of adrenaline that had colored his life for years, but this time carried a unique depth, the notion of reclaiming his purpose alongside his daughter. He took the grounding himself. Thank you for allowing us to pitch this idea. We're excited to talk about building a youth club focused on climate education, he began, his voice steady. As he outlined their vision, revealing the project's scope and purpose, he quickly recognized the power of passion. The words flowed more naturally than he had anticipated, each point reflecting not just the mechanics of the project, but the transformative journey he and Lucy had shared together. As he spoke about inspiring young minds and fostering resilience, he glanced at Lucy. Her nod of encouragement struck him as both a reminder of their bond and a beacon guiding him through the uncertainty. Parents began to lean in, intrigued by the communal aspect and the potential for student engagement. The discussion sparked curiosity and excitement, and soon questions were bouncing around the room. What if we partner with local scientists? How will you ensure inclusivity? Can the children lead the sessions themselves? With each question, Matt engaged without hesitation, grounding his confidence in the knowledge that they were building a project defined by collaboration, not just for their benefit, but for every child who would participate. He underscored how the club would instill the values of stewardship, forgiveness, and resilience, demonstrating real-world connections that could nurture their dreams, a reflection of what he'd felt through Lucy's eyes. As the meeting continued, a shift began to manifest within him. The barriers of self-doubt eroded further beneath the support from parents. A complex mixture of gratitude and excitement swelled in his chest. Failure no longer felt like a looming consequence. It transformed into an opportunity for collective growth. After the presentation, applause echoed in the gymnasium, energizing the air thick with anticipation. He and Lucy exchanged proud glances, a silent agreement reaffirming their shared success, each moment crystallizing their bond as collaborators in a joint mission. The following week brought meetings and planning sessions, and as he worked closely with parents and students, the transformative impact of their initiative unfolded. Ideas blossomed beyond Matt's initial imagination, spilling into possibilities that echoed through the halls. They developed hands-on workshops, built partnerships with local organizations, and fostered a vibrant learning community that flourished under their guidance.
Matt soon found himself not just supporting Lucy's growth, but flourishing alongside her, wielding his knowledge and experiences as a foundation to nurture her aspirations. The janitor who had once settled for obscurity now learned to embrace his position as an educator and mentor, reshaping his identity in profound ways. By the end of the semester, the youth club had thrived, showcasing projects that echoed transformation, a spirited community of young advocates ready to confront climate change with creativity and conviction. Matt felt an overwhelming sense of purpose wash over him, an authentic recognition of his contribution. As he stood before a group of enthusiastic children presenting their projects in the gym, he realized that he had finally conquered the inadequacy that once gripped him. The recognition from staff and parents
alike, acknowledging not just the club's impact, but also his instrumental role, forged an unbreakable sense of pride within him. This journey of transformation, the reclamation of a forgotten dream, culminated into a solid foundation that gave birth to a renewed sense of self. He was no longer just a janitor, but a facilitator of dreams, an architect of knowledge, and the guiding light for Lucy and her peers. As the applause rang out in the gym, swirling in crescendo, Matt knew that the journey was just beginning. He had not only awakened his dreams, but had also instilled confidence within the next generation. His heart swelled with gratitude, both for the journey that brought him here and for the realization that he could wear the mantle of inspiration, proving what was achievable when one dares to dream. And in that moment, as the cheers and laughter mingled around him, he understood. He never had to be defined by limitations again. Do not wait even one more second. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive emotional stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. It truly matters. We want to hear from you. Comment your thoughts and reactions to this transformative finale. And share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. This is your moment to show your support.